Hey, what's up, everybody? Thursday, November 21st. 1 week until Thanksgiving. Can't wait. Market was down today. This is the third day down. I said the other day that we are in a moment here when we could see a pullback in the market. And my reasoning for that, well, it was actually two reasons. Number one was I thought we started to see more bullish sentiment pop up in the headlines. I gave you some anecdotal evidence. There was that guy, the hedge fund manager, Paul Tudor Jones, who's been like just so worried and anxious over the deficit and the spending and the debt. Of course, he doesn't, he doesn't understand sovereign money. He doesn't understand government finance. He's fixated, like so many people are still in a gold standard frame of mind. But now all of a sudden, and I'm sure this has caused him to miss out on most of this rally, if not all the rally, but now he's saying, we're going to have an explosive rise in the stock market now. So things like that. And the other thing, the second thing was we are still now in this period of reserve flows. I'm talking about bank reserves, where the flows coming into the banking system present, at the very least, a headwind for risk assets like stocks. And sometimes it's just outright bearish. I mean, we are in that moment right now, and it's going to last for probably till early December. But curiously, what I saw today in the AAII, that's the American Association of Individual Investors, their weekly survey, and despite the fact that the stock market hit an all-time record high, bullish sentiment came down, neutral sentiment went up. Again, remember, I've been talking about the neutrals, that they have been elevated above the historical average for this entire year. So people have been sitting on the fence, and my contention is that ultimately it's going to take much higher stock prices to pull those people off the fence. And bearish sentiment went up a little bit too in the latest week. So it was kind of surprising to me when I saw that, because you figure new all-time record highs in the stock market, you would see a rise in bullish sentiment, you would see a fall in bearish sentiment, and maybe a fall in neutrals. No, none of that happened. It was the opposite. So that was very curious to me. So yeah, we have that. A lot of people, and since I've been doing this for a long time and helping people and mentoring people and having people as subscribers, and I get to see their behavior over time. And it's not about the behavior, let's say, of one person or two people. I mean, I see it in the aggregate. I see it in mass. Like, it's very common. It's very common. People come into the game and they're very excited because they believe that how great would it be to have that financial freedom, to have the freedom in your life, like to be able to go where you want, be where you want, use the market as a means to generate income and wealth for yourself. How liberating that would be, right? And so they're lured into the market. They're lured by this the prospect of big profits. If only in their minds they could find the right system, they could find the right approach. And then they hear something about like MMT, and they get turned on by it because it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And all this time I've been listening to these other people and they've been wrong, but this is making sense. And then maybe they find me, and they're like, here's a guy who has an applied approach to MMT, like he's using MMT, and that gets them really turned on. And they come in and they see how the ideas and the concepts, when applied to the markets and trading, maybe in the beginning, like they make a few trades and it works. And suddenly it's like a new world has opened up to them, and they have found the Holy Grail. And boy, this is exactly what I've been looking. And it works until the moment arises, and it always does. No matter what, it always does. When something seemingly goes wrong, it's not working. it's not working. The market's moving in the opposite direction of what MMT says and what my position is. Now, the problem there, of course, and I see this over and over and over again. All right. The problem there comes back to this idea of wanting everything right away, not having patience, not having the ability to ride. Look, I've said this a billion times. You learn nothing from a profitable trade, especially, you know what we used to say when I was a floor trader? Maybe some of you don't know this, but I was a floor trader for many, many years. If you come into the game and your first few trades are profitable trades, that is the kiss of death. Then it makes you feel like, hey, this game is easy. Look at that, I can't lose. But it sets you up for that period when you have to go through a period of difficulty, a period of hardship, something that really tests you. But that's where it's at. That's the secret. You want to go through those periods to ride out and come out on the other side. You've been tested, and from that experience, and the more you do that, you realize, first of all, it's ultimate confidence, and second of all, you realize that no matter what situation you are in, it cannot harm you. What harms you is your own behavior. So a lot of it has to do, and I see this again, en masse with many, many people. It's wanting something very, very quickly. It's that need for instant gratification. Like you want that money now, and you want big money right now, and you don't want to wait. And you want something that's going to give you that. And in your mind, it has nothing to do with you, yourself, or how you behave. It's some system, some apparatus, some approach or methodology, or some type of analytics that's going to deliver it to you on a silver platter right there on your doorstep. That's the thinking in your mind. The other thing you do is your framing is all wrong. You scare yourself out of the markets, or you scare yourself into loss. Oh, I'm getting killed. Look at the metaphors we use. Killed. You're dying. I'm getting crushed. The market's going in a tank. I always say, be careful about language. All this is attainable. All your goals are attainable. That is, if you even know what your real goals are. I mean, a lot of you come into this thing thinking you want money, and what you really want is action. I actually had some guy say it to me the other day. Say, look, Mike, I need more action. This is too slow. So I can't help you. Sorry. I cannot control the market. I can control me. And that's what delivers the money. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.